I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions. I don't really want to work out, I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project, I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed, yeah, I get up and get out of bed. Now, these could be signals that you need some time off. And those signals might be right. They could be correct. But don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights. Sprint the hill. Work on the project. Get out of bed. Now, as an overall rule, I do not like procrastination. You need to get things done.
Being successful doesn't mean that you have a lot of money or tons of these expensive cars or you go on vacations all the time. Success means that you have goals that you want to set out to achieve and you achieve them. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not that complicated, but people tend to think it's something that it's not. You can have a lot of cars or a lot of money and still not be successful. And a great way to become successful is by setting out in the world and going to achieve as much knowledge and power as you possibly can in whatever area you want to become successful in. That means you go out and you get educated on that subject matter and you become a master of that material so that people come to you when they need help. And then you go out and network and get to know people and have people know you because you're so influential in that area. You would know everything about that thing that you love. You know the ins and outs and you know how it works and why it works and you know all of that. And that way people will come to you and that will open so many doors for you, knowing so many people and knowing so much information that you'll be able to go out and achieve your goals in any which way possible as long as you stay focused and stay dedicated to the task at hand. As long as you wake up and try to get closer and closer each and every day to that goal, to that achievement that you want to receive every single day, step by step, you will slowly gain progress and then eventually it'll all come together and you'll realize that you've made it and that'll be an incredible feeling for you.
Don't talk to me about, oh, well, it was easy for you because you had these highly trained, highly disciplined, Terminator robots that work for you. Not true. In fact, the opposite. I had a bunch of hard-headed, the guys that you talked about earlier, I had a bunch of hard-headed, very determined, thick-skulled guys that, I had to get them to do what I wanted them to do. I had to get them to want to do what I wanted them to do. I had to make them think that it was what they wanted to do. That's the goal.
So for example, Brian and I are going out on a mission. And I say, okay, Brian, here's what's happening. We're gonna take down this building tonight. Once we get the building taken down and the target secure, I want you to take your team up to the rooftop and set security. And Brian says, cool, got it. And so we go on the mission, we take down the building, we get the target secure. Brian takes his team up to the rooftop to set security. Now, most of the roofs in Iraq are flat because it doesn't rain very much. And then up on the roof, they have a roof wall. It's called a parapet wall that goes around. It's like 4 or 5 feet tall. It's pretty tall. And it's made of concrete like the rest of the building. And so it makes being on a rooftop a great place to be because you're in an elevated position, but the enemy can't see you. And if the enemy does see you, they can't shoot at you because there's a concrete wall there. For whatever reason, Brian gets his team up to the rooftop. There's no roof wall. And so his guys are exposed to the enemy. And his guys feel that. And when you're exposed to the enemy, believe me, you actually feel it. So they're thinking they're gonna get shot. The enemy can see them. The enemy can shoot at them. So they're looking at Brian thinking, hey Brian, we're exposed up here. What do you think? And Brian's like, oh, lay down more. And now they're looking at him thinking, okay, what are they thinking of Brian right now? They think he's an idiot. And so Brian doesn't want to feel like an idiot. So they finally say, hey Brian, we're exposed, the enemy can see us, the enemy can shoot at us, why are we up here? And Brian says, well, we're up here because Jocko told us to be up here. And now what do they think of me? They think I'm an idiot too. And so now what you have is a team on the rooftop who's exposed to enemy fire, and they, on top of that, think that their entire chain of command is a bunch of idiots.
When you have to go execute something, I want you to plan it. I'm not gonna plan it for you. I want you to plan it. Now I'm gonna come and check out your plan and we'll collaborate to make sure it's the best plan because maybe I have more experience than you, or maybe I have some strategic vision that you don't have, but I want you to plan it. That way you own it. And if you own it, when you go to execute it, you're gonna put that much more effort into it. That's hard to quantify, but that's real. That is real. If you come up with a plan, you're gonna put more effort and more pride in executing that plan than if I come up with a plan and I give it to you and tell you to execute it.
War is a nightmare.
War is awful. It is indifferent and devastating and evil. War is hell. It is also an incredible teacher, a brutal teacher, and it teaches you lessons that you will not forget. In war, you are forced to see humanity at its absolute worst, and you are also blessed to see humanity in its most glorious moments.